Two, one. Welcome back, everybody, to The Horror Returns. I'm Lance. As always, my co-hosts Brian and Philip. We got a special one tonight, folks. You may have heard about it. Plankenstein, the hot new high-budget thriller killer movie about, yes, that's right, a killer surfboard. You heard it here, a killer surfboard. So we've got Diamond and we got Robert with us who put this thing together. What's up, guys?
Hey, how y'all doing?
How's it going?
Appreciate you having us, man. We're stoked to be on. This is exciting.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you. This is awesome.
We're thrilled. We're thrilled. We even
I've got a surfboard that looks just like that one.
No,
Pretty close to it.
get rid of it and don't eat pork. I'll tell you,
Yeah, somebody gave it to me. So.
Oh,
there you go.
An enemy.
Never turned down a free surfboard.
Ex-girlfriend or an enemy? If it looks
unless
like
it's
that.
cursed.
It might be. I don't know. I'm too fat to ride it at the moment.
Come on now, Philip. You look great.
All right. I think Brian, we were wondering earlier before we recorded, do you guys surf in Alaska?
I wouldn't know. I stay inside where it's warm.
Don't blame you, man. Yeah, there's a heat wave coming up, so hopefully you guys will get some of that, Brian. I don't know how far it's going. I think it's starting in the southwest, but maybe you'll get lucky, man.
It's a long ways from here.
No, but there definitely is actually some really awesome surfing in Alaska with like the Aurora Borealis going on in the background. How cool
Yeah.
would that be?
Yeah, Brian, you need to get on that, brother.
I can't swim, so stay out.
That is a prerequisite for surfing, for sure.
All right, so we want to talk about the movie tonight, but the first thing we usually do around here, it's a little thing called Cool of the Week. So it's pretty open-ended, and we're pretty we're pretty liberal with our rules on this. We've had like musicals and comedies and all kinds of stuff. So gentlemen, if you want to, I don't know, Diamond, you want to get started? What's the coolest thing that you've checked out this week? It can be a movie, video game, whatever.
You know, coolest thing I've checked out this week. I dare say it's Turkey Shoot because I know we're going to talk about that in a minute, but
Nice.
it kind of is. It's there's I just haven't seen that one. You know what? I'll tell you what. I recently rewatched. It was hard to find years ago. Kind of what turned me on to the B movie genre. There was a movie that came out called 555. Most people have never heard of it. It's so obscure. It's about the criminal, and it's all about necrophilia, and it's unbelievably wonderful. And so it's this, and the wonder of the week, and I can only do it physically, is you in one scene you just see the body going like this.
Okay.
And I know this is podcast, people don't hear see that, but it's just this up and down on a dead corpse with a shadow going. And that's so I know that's a weird cool of the week, but I made Plankenstein, so there you go.
All right, there you go. So 555, just the three numbers, right?
Look up 555. You can see that movie. It's as B movie as it gets. One camera angle,
nice.
I think three
1988.
locations. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that's right, Brian.
Okay,
And
I'm looking for it now.
yeah, look it up. About three camera angles, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, it really influenced a lot how I shot Plankenstein, to be honest with you, when it comes to influences. But that's my cool of the week.
There you go. A classic. Robert,
Nice.
what you got, man?
Well, besides the movies we're going to talk about today, the other thing I just recently saw that I liked was a sequel to the movie Sisu.
Oh,
The
yes.
the new
How was
version
that?
just came out. That was awesome, dude. Oh my God. The kill scenes are just epic. The gunfire, the blood splatter, the gore. It's a freaking rad movie, man. If you guys like the first one, the second one's even better.
I
It's
love the
so
first
good.
one. I like the
No
first one.
shit.
Yeah,
So
That's
good,
exactly
man.
what I was going to ask because the first one was pretty amazing.
I
Yeah,
agree.
dude. This first one was awesome. I didn't know about it really, and I got like halfway in, I was hooked. And then when I saw the second one came out, it's out. So I went and watched it. And yeah, that's friggin' epic movie. The visual effects shots, the stunts in there, the choreograph, the fighting. It's from a film standpoint, it's an awesome movie to watch. Just a fun movie to watch. So yeah, definitely cool.
Oh,
Very
Cool.
nice. All right, cool. I've
Yeah.
seen it out there, just haven't watched it yet.
yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Um, all right, I'm gonna go. I'll go with Shameless again. You guys ever seen the TV show
Nice. Yep.
Shameless, the American version?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I think we're gonna go back and watch the UK version. I believe James McAvoy, a very
Oh,
very
really?
young James McAvoy, is in it. Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even know there was a UK version.
I was thinking that same thing.
Yeah.
hmm
yeah, I haven't
Yeah, it was
either. Yeah.
it was the original. Like I think it's like 5 or 6 years before. So they
Oh.
kind of like they did with The Office, right? They took a UK comedy and
Oh,
Americanized it. So
right.
I, but yeah, we're in season 5. It's the American version, and just the depth of the character development. Like the show starts off like everybody seems real black and white. Like there's this complete deadbeat without a heart that doesn't care about anybody, and things are starting to change a little bit, in some of
Hmm.
the predicaments and positions that character's in, and you get really interested in all the different storylines. You guys made it all the way through to the finale?
I
I have
haven't. I
not.
haven't made it all the
No.
way
Yeah.
through. No.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Yeah. Well, they're all up on Netflix now, so shout out to Netflix, and
Nice.
yeah, we're
It's like a
enjoying
lot
it.
of
5 seasons
seasons,
in.
though. Oh,
I
I
think
was gonna say.
it's I
Yeah.
think it's 11.
Yeah.
I think
Oh
it's
Yeah.
man.
11. Yeah, so we're
Wow.
halfway-ish done.
Wow. I didn't realize there's so many seasons. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was on for a while. They have a lot of killer guest stars too.
Hmm.
Like even Negan showed up in an episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Did he be Lucille?
I was gonna say 11 seasons. You're sounding a lot like The Walking Dead. That's about where I fell off.
Yeah, no shit,
Yeah,
no
I was gonna
shit.
say after a while you're like, whoa. That's right.
I kind of stopped
Uh,
watching Walking Dead after they killed off Carl and Glenn. I was like,
Yeah.
after
Same.
they killed off,
Well,
after
yeah,
they
it
killed off
went
Carl, I was
downhill.
like, yeah. For me, it did. Yeah.
hmm kind of jumped the shark, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
my kid's
Yep.
watching it right now, and he's not quite there, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I dropped off, so I can't really tell him anything else.
All right. Well, that's my cool of the week. Shameless.
Well,
Nice.
I'll jump in. I've got a another non-horror. Is this thing on? It's Will Arnett
Ah,
stand up, like,
Oh.
okay.
but he's like it's like a serious comedy tragedy thing going on. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
he's having problems with his life, and he gets a divorce, and he takes up stand-up comedy. And sometimes it goes okay, sometimes it doesn't, the way it goes.
Hmm.
But it's a pretty solid movie. It's better than I expected it to be. Like it's got some heart. It's a lot more serious than I thought it was going to be.
Hmm.
But Will Arnett as a serious actor, I think it works.
That's funny. I was gonna go see that, and I thought, looks kind of like a chick flick. I wasn't sure if it was my thing. So it's not really
Yeah.
chick flick. It's not real chick flicky. No.
No, it's not bad. It just sort of follows Will Arnett through his whole divorce thing. I mean, I guess it sort of follows his wife a little bit too. That's Lorna Dern.
Well, I don't mind
Okay.
chick flick. I don't mind chick flicks to a
Yeah.
degree, but I don't like things that kind of pull my heartstrings and make me feel sad.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, no, it is definitely more serious than you would expect, though. So it does
Hmm.
have
That's
some
good to know.
heartstring stuff in there.
Oh,
I like Will Arnett. I'm gonna check that out. Right on.
me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do comedy or he can play it straight.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at going back and forth. So it sounds like it's probably
Definitely.
good. I'll give it a shot.
And you said Laura Dern's
Yeah.
his wife in there?
Yeah,
Oh, that's wild.
yeah.
I don't realize that. Yeah.
She looks a little different, but she's like aged gracefully. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Hmm.
that's a lot
As
of
long as she
these.
doesn't cry. As long as she
Yeah.
doesn't cry like a blue velvet when she cries. I can't handle her face when she cries.
Well, yeah, that's a problem.
Blue velvet, you know.
Is that it,
Brian,
Phil?
Brian, what you got?
I got a screener for a movie called Trucker. It's a
Oh,
indie
trucker.
movie. It's a slasher slash revenge movie. It's pretty decent. The kills were pretty cool, and not really anybody I recognize in the cast, but I thought they all did a pretty decent job acting. So check out Trucker.
Cool.
Hmm.
Trucker.
Trucker.
All right.
And I also checked out a movie called The Hermit starring Lou Ferrigno.
Oh
Lou
gosh,
Ferrigno.
Really?
Oh,
the Hermit.
The
So
Hulk,
like,
and the Hulk goes. The Hulk gets small, apparently.
Yeah, he plays the title character, and this movie's got a lot of Texas Chainsaw vibes, and
Hmm.
also
What?
Motel Hell. If you guys ever seen that one,
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
there's an
Is is
aspect in
is
Wow.
that.
is Lou
Go
the
ahead.
killer?
Yes,
Really?
and
Jesus.
Really?
they also use his real life being deaf as a part of the storyline in the movie.
Good for them.
Hmm.
That's great. Yeah, yeah, that's wild.
So that was pretty decent, and I guess my actual cool of the week was Daredevil season 2
Oh,
started.
nice.
Yeah. I love that one. Yeah. Season 1 was awesome. I got a little bit into season 2, but yeah, no, Daredevil's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of setup in this first episode, so it looks like it's going to be an interesting season.
Yeah.
Nice. Brian, have they got just the first episode so far?
Yeah, I think they got a weird release schedule. I think next week they're releasing 2 episodes, and then a week after that it's going back to one a week.
Oh, wow.
Okay. No,
Okay.
no epic 10-minute long fight scene yet.
There were some good fight scenes. It's definitely they're up into violence in this season and dropped
Okay.
quite a few F-bombs. I was kind of surprised for Disney Plus.
Wow, how we've grown, huh?
Disney Plus.
That's all I
Wow.
got for this week.
Nice. All right. Well, we have two sections we normally do, guys. We usually do horror headlines where we talk about some items in the news, and then we usually do Trailer Park. And Trailer Park is where we watch a couple of trailers and comment on them. But we're skipping those tonight because you guys are here. So we want
Oh,
to
Oh.
cool.
kind of put the spotlight on Plankenstein, right, Brian?
Ooh.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you guys. We really do, man. I know you guys have a lot of films you guys get screens for. I mean, Brian, you just mentioned Trucker, so we appreciate you guys having us, man. Thank you.
Thank
No
you. Yeah.
problem.
Cool. Yeah, so before we get into the movie itself, like you guys, can y'all give us a little history, like how this thing came about and where did you come up with the idea for a killer surfboard?
Well, I
I,
guess that's all me.
Yeah.
I am a surfer, and I had bought a surfboard, like a just a 12-foot softboard at a garage sale that the nose was broken and flipped back and kind of hanging on by a thread. So I came home and fixed it with these dowels, and I stitched it, literally stitched it up, and I fixed it. And I have a tenant who lives downstairs, and a good friend of mine. I said, "Dang, check this out, man!" I go, "My board looks like Frankenstein." He looks at me, and he goes, he's kind of a stoner. He goes, "Frankenstein? It looks more like Plankenstein." And I just
No
started laughing.
shit.
I started laughing so hard. I've never written anything. This is year like 2010, right around
Uh-huh.
2010, I think it was. And I started laughing. I said, you know what? I'm making a movie. And he said, what? I said, ah. And I went to the liquor store. It's all true. That same day, I went to the liquor store, bought a fifth of Jack Daniels. And I went to the beach and I sat, and 4 hours later, I had Plankenstein written. So, well, the original. So,
Nice.
yeah, whiskey and Plankenstein go well together. But I
that's the
had
way to write a
I had
movie right there.
yeah, it's a way to write a movie. And I wrote the
Totally.
original. So I'd done this movie once years ago. The first thing I ever did was Plankenstein. Not this version, but I did a different version. The script is very similar. And I shot it on a Sanyo, not a Sony, but a Sanyo Exacti water camera, the whole movie. And it was pretty bad in the B, but great in the B movie realm. But now I didn't know what the hell I was doing at the time. I didn't know how to edit really. I mean, edits were great, but when I exported it in 720, and so watching it now is just.
Mm-hmm.
So then that sparked my interest in film, and then I went to film school and did all these different things. And then I came back. I said I got to reshoot Plankenstein in a way that people can watch it, and I tried to make it as close to the B movie style as I could. You know, static shots, not a lot of. Nowadays, there's a lot of jibs, but we can get into that later. But that's the origination of Plankenstein right there. Yeah, he was a wrecked board on the side of a
Nice.
road.
Okay, makes sense. Robert,
Yeah.
how did you get involved, man?
I've worked with Diamond for years, 10 plus, 10, 12, 15 years. Me and Diamond have been buddies for a while. We've worked with them in the past lots of times. I'm usually always like, whenever Diamond's got a new gig or project, he usually always hits me up. Typically for crew or visual effects or motion graphics, which is what my specialty is.
Mm-hmm.
I did a little bit of acting for something we did years back ago called Potluck with Smooch. Me, Diamond, and a bunch of us other guys. We did like a web series. And so it was my first real like acting with Diamond on one of his roles. And then all of a sudden he talked to me about Plankenstein doing visual effects and crew. But then out of the blue, he calls me and he goes, "Hey, what do you feel about playing Scary?" And I was like, I'm not really an actor, right? He goes, "Yeah, but you did so good with Paulo and Smoots. Just play it normal. Like, you just need to be like a stoner guy." And I was like, "All right, man, I'll trust your vision." So, like, all right. So, moving forward, and then I get another call. He's like, "I got a weird, crazy idea. Can you play the elder as well? Can you play two characters?" I was like, "So you want me to play two different characters?" I was like, "How?" Because the elder's supposed to be like a much older person. I was like, "How? That
Right.
doesn't make any sense." So Diamond's like, "I'm gonna rework it. I'm gonna rewrite some stuff. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great." And I was like, "All right, dude." So I trust Diamond and what his envisions are, and I just kind of wrote the punt. He'll come in and be like, "Hey, put on this crazy all the crazy stuff that Scary was wearing in the." So I was like, "All right, dude, throw on the beanie." And I was like, all right. And it worked out. I had a lot of fun. My biggest thing was trying to, because again, I'm not an actor, so trying to memorize all the lines and everything. My girlfriend used to do theater, so she helped me out with that part. But I remember on set, we got down to the waterfall scene where we're doing the hoodie scene,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm supposed to be talking about the whole legend of the plank board. And we thought we are gonna do the beginning and then ADR the rest. But I was like, I actually memorized the whole thing. He's like, "Okay, let's shoot it all now." I
It
was
was
like,
awesome.
"Cool," and we just ran through it right there. It was awesome, yeah. So it was cool.
And I'll
Nice.
tell you, if I could address that, that was all a pure function of what we had to do. When you make indie films with no money, you're not paying anybody, and everybody's there off of, we Robert and I have worked on so many other people's films, so other people want to work on our stuff, kind of thing, right? So you're not paying people, yeah, especially actors. They kind of move and they go different places or they don't come. So Scary was kind of a function. Robert, I called him almost 2 days prior to our first day of shoot. Said, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
the guy we had to play Scary pulled out. You're going to be on set being our best boy. What do you think?" It was because he was going to be on set. Period. And then it was very
Yeah.
similar with the elder. I
You're
was like,
there.
"Dude, yeah, my sister is the only person who doesn't live in Hawaii. She lives in LA, and she plays the lead cop, the Captain Miller." And I said, "Look,
Okay.
Amy's flying over for a week to shoot." And we had an older guy, a gentleman who was supposed to show up, and he said, "Hey, I can't get there. I can't make it." So I called Robert and said, "Hey, look, I got a weird idea. I know we're shooting tomorrow, but
Mm-hmm.
you need to memorize these lines, and you're going to be Elder." He's like, "Okay." And I go, "I know it's very Scooby Doo, but it's what we got to do."
Right.
So that's how that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Scary was my favorite character aside from
Me
the
Thanks,
too.
man.
smoking hot
Absolutely.
Right on.
chick.
Yeah.
Aside from the smoking hot chick, and that's another one. She was in an
Yeah.
episode of Potluck with Smooch, and she's
Yeah.
afterwards. She said, "Diamond, I'll work on anything you do." So when I rewrote Plankenstein, I had her in mind the whole time. She's a local bikini model. Isn't she great? She's so smoking,
Yeah.
and
The
she's a great
tuna.
actress. She's a great actress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She was great.
that was the question I was gonna ask. Is that like a local term being called a tuna?
It's interesting. Funny story about that. Robert's a local dude. I've been here for 20, 25 years. Robert grew up here. He's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
His mom's Hawaiian, all that. And when I was writing that, when I had that term, I was like, I had a different term. I called Robert. I said, "Can you give me something local?" And he's like, "I can't think of anything." So he called his mom. Robert's mom, right, Mama?
Right.
She came up with,
Yeah.
she goes, "Well, in my day, we used to call girls tuna. Here, they don't do it anymore, right, Robert?" Not really do it anymore, right? But
Oh,
it's
that
so
hooker, she's just a tuna.
yeah, tuna. Look, I'm very pitching, very good.
We're bringing tuna back.
Yeah, it's a pretty descriptive term. It's pretty rough.
I like
It's
it.
cool,
It was
man.
it was funny in the theater. We were watching. My mom came for the screening in the theater, and she was sitting right next to me. And after like the 10th tuna being said on the film, my mom turns like, "So am I going to get paid for every time they say tuna?" I was like, "You tell Diamond, I get royalties for that, right?" I'm like, "I'll let him know, Mom. Sure."
It moved the story along, right? That's the important
Hey,
thing.
tuna, don't call me a tuna.
And it's really,
Well,
and
you
what's great too is like old school local people here in Hawaii, they'll get it, you know. Eventually, as you watch the film, you catch on, but the local people, it's
Mhm.
like a shout out to those guys, you know, like, oh, you guys are bringing it back. Like, yeah, we're bringing back tuna.
Oh, I'm definitely using it from now on.
Nice. Perfect.
Well, you guys were gracious enough to send us a screener, so we appreciate that.
Awesome.
But before we forget to ask, people that are listening or watching, where could you find this movie? Where's it at?
We got stoked. I'll tell you, for a movie that we made this movie under 10 grand, and we made it for about $8,500. My own money out of my money, and that was almost all craft services. And
Okay.
but I worked my ass off to get distribution for the last year and a half, and we got it. So we got distribution worldwide with a company called the Horror Collective. They're our distributors. And a shout out to our partners in LA, Synesthesia Factory. They kind of got us that distribution. So we're now distributed on Amazon Prime, Fandango, Tubi TV, Vimeo TV, Zumo, and Bloodstream. So yeah, and we're really stoked. I mean, yeah, you can watch it. You can pay to watch it or rent it on Amazon Prime with no commercials, or watch it with commercials on Tubi for free. Yeah, I'm happy with
Nice.
that. Yeah, we're blow our minds. Yeah, yeah. You guys have watched it. It's not the kind of film that typically gets signed. It gets get a distribution deal. It's all usually indie stuff, so we're pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Well, I'm a big musicals guy, okay? And I get shit for it sometimes here, but you guys had a musical number in the middle
You
here.
Yeah.
know
What's
what?
what's up with that? Who all was involved in that? What's the story?
My thought was when I wrote that, I'm a music. Funny you say you're a music guy. I was a musician for many years. There's a band called
Okay.
Dick Diamond and the Family Jewels. Years ago in San Diego, we did tours.
Okay. Now we know.
We did, but we did tours with the Chili Peppers years ago when they were first starting out. We
Oh,
did West Coast tours up and down California. And so I'm a writer, so I wrote all the music, and except for the score, Eddie Owen, a guy who lives on the East Coast, wrote that and did all the score. But all the songs in the movie I wrote. And when I wrote Burn Aboard, I had exactly what you had in mind. I had kind of a beach blanket bingo kind of, because it's a beach movie. I thought we need a kind of a dance movie, kind of thing like that. So that's where that came from. I wanted a dance number kind of thing. It never, the night that we shot it, I had a whole bunch of different choreographed moves planned to kind of do stuff, but
right.
man, we just didn't get them. So you edit what you got, right? So, but
Yeah.
Right.
I love that musical number, and in that musical number, you notice how when they snap their fingers when they take the acid, everybody's wearing different clothes. It's all bright clothes. One of our other producers, Rosario Batera, he's a painter and he was also our sound guy. This is when you make indie films like this, everything just kind of comes from everywhere. And when I was
Okay.
telling him what I was doing, he goes, "Oh, he has these really bright paintings that he has them made into textiles and they're made into clothing, right? So he's like, I have all these
Right.
samples that we can have everybody wear." And I said, "Well, okay, that's it. Then we'll make it acid."
Yeah.
And that's what we
Why
did.
not?
That works.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything else is crazy in this movie. Philip, you had a
Might
favorite
as well.
scene, didn't you?
What was your favorite scene, Philip?
the it was the first scene where the board really gets it, and it's the guy with the dildo in the water. Crap,
Oh,
dude,
right.
that took me out.
Don't
I
you love
was,
when the penis is floating along the reef and the music?
yeah,
Oh,
it had like balls and all on it.
I know. How did that happen?
I
You know,
was like, wait a minute, I don't know if that's how that would work.
A
and you know
a
what's
friend of mine
funny? Oh, sorry. I was gonna say what's funny about that whole dildos, the penis pool scene and all that. So the dildo we got, it kept filling up with water. It kept sinking or floating away. It wouldn't stay in the scene where we wanted it to be. So we're like sitting there going, God damn, what are we gonna do? So
We
I
lost
said, fuck it.
25
So
dildos.
so I said, fuck it. So I grabbed the dildo. I ran off to the beach where we had all of our props and our gear. And I found this long metal wooden, long metal dowel. And I just freaking stabbed it through the side of the dick. And so I'm off camera
Jesus
puppeting
Christ.
the dildo on the surface of the water. Under the water, it's fine because we're able to pull it with the leash and we got it to go through the camera. But for those scenes where she's freaking out about the dick on the water, I'm sitting here with the metal rod puppeting the freaking thing to stay where it needs to be. And then later on in post, I actually have to paint out the rod because you can see it in all the shots. So I had to go in there and frame by frame paint out the rod so you didn't see it anymore.
You did a good job. I never caught it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that was a lot of work. The water's constantly shifting, and so any little pop, you would see it, right? So it took me, and there's quite a bit of those shots. But what's funny though is the day on the set, where we were filming that, there's this like big pier over our heads, and I looked up, there's a group of people watching us film this scene. And so I looked up at him, and I just kind of waved at him with the dildo on the stick, like "Hi,
Hi."
But man, that was a funny. And then apparently the dildo disappeared after we wrapped that day. Right? Somebody it got stolen. I don't know what happened.
Well, I think it floated away, and someone down the beach freaked out.
Maybe a tuna found it.
The funny thing about that dildo is I couldn't find one. Well, the actor we got, he's very Hawaiian. He has that dark skin. If you look at that penis, a friend of mine comes in and goes, "Dude, is there any way you can make that darker? It looks like it's from albino." What the hell? But it's what we got.
It was also like the size of his arm.
You know what's funny is that actor's name is Dane. He never acted as dialogue. Dane Ake. Before he goes, okay, can I he pulls me aside. He gets dead serious. He goes, "Hey, are you gonna make the penis big for me?"
There you go.
And he gives a younger guy. He's 18 years old. He had just turned 18. I go, "Yeah, Dave, it's going to be a huge penis." He was very concerned about that. I don't know what he was thinking.
Boogie Nights style. I understand.
Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights. I'm glad that was your favorite scene, Philip, because it's mine. I'll tell you what to me really makes that scene amazing is, like I said, once all the screaming is done and we go underwater, Owen, the guy who did the score, that kind of voice and that you just the penis floating through the water in slow motion, to me with his music is just, I think it's poetic.
It was great. That was the one that grabbed me.
Quick question about the music. Was it all original?
All of it. The score was all original, and I wrote all the songs. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That way they didn't have to pay for it.
Exactly right.
Diamond's good at it. Diamond's great at it. So why not? You know?
Yeah.
I like even Slow Moving Aloha, which the band plays. Yeah. It was funny enough because I had written that a long time ago, and I needed a song for the band to play. I thought, shit, just use one of mine. I'm not gonna pay anybody. Just use them, and it's Slow Moving Aloha, so it fits Hawaii. So
fits in. Brian, what'd you think about this movie, dude? Did you have a favorite scene or a favorite actor or anything?
We already talked about my favorite scene, and we already mentioned my favorite actor. She was very nice.
Isn't she? Leilani. Leilani is her real name. She really is. There's a hotel here called the Aulani, which is the Disney hotel here. Pretty exclusive, pretty expensive, like $1,000 rooms.
Of course.
She plays. She's Moana when people come there. Like when the girls come in, she's dressed as Moana.
She's actually on the commercial too. It's funny. She's on the commercial.
No kidding.
Check it out on YouTube. It's a really quick cut. It's a scene with her and she's dancing as Moana. She looks over at a little girl, but it's like the side of her face. But yeah, no, that's her. She's in the commercial and everything. Yeah.
And let me tell you, she's as lovely as she looks. She's funny. She's smart. She's super cool. She knew all of her lines. She showed up. She's just great all the way out. There were a couple times she's
professional
stacked as hell.
Yeah, and she stacked as hell. I'll tell you something. She'll hate for me to say this, but in all of the scenes that we shot, the very first weekend we shot, I got a campsite near the North Shore where I had built the scary surf hut, and I, believe it or not, I put that scary surf hut on the back of my fucking truck. It was crazy. I drove all the way to the North Shore. I strapped it down with these things. We got there, but I got a campsite for the weekend so we could shoot that whole scene. I mean, all of those 3 scenes in a row. And she was, a week later, she had a big swimsuit competition on the East Coast. So she was absolutely cut for every single scene there. And then there's a few scenes later on where she wasn't like trimming down for it, where she hates, she's like, I don't look, I was like, are you really? She thinks she looks heavy in those scenes. I'm like, come on. So Brian, I'm going to tell her you were not disappointed. She'll be very happy.
Thank you. And a quick question.
I dated a Leilani once. She didn't look like that
though. Did she ever have any issues with, because as far as like the tuna stuff in the movie, everybody goes pretty hard on her throughout the movie. Did it ever bother her filming any of those scenes?
No, God, no. She's so aware of who she is. She doesn't care at all. Even the crotch shot, when the board falls right in front of her crotch, and I hold it there for long periods of time, a little
like
bit too
4 times.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. And I'm like, just stay, hold. And I'm got cut. She's like, oh my God, what do you do with that guy? She's like, I hope I shaved. I'm glad I shaved this morning. So she's none whatsoever, Brian. She was just up for it. Yeah. She really is great. The one thing she didn't want to do was get her hair wet. So if you notice her, when she's surfing, her hair is never wet because it frizzes out. She says when it gets wet, it just goes.
Yeah, well, she was saying that she had some kind of a photo shoot coming up, like either the day before or like the day after or something like in the next morning or something. And so they had just did her hair. And so, she didn't want to mess with her hair.
She wouldn't get her hair wet at all for any of the scenes. She just it's going to frizz out, Diamond. Then I won't look the same that I did earlier. And the truth is, she has that really Hawaiian curly frizz hair. She knows. Yeah, right? It literally gets wet, and when it starts drying, it just goes. She may as well be a Samoan football player.
Yeah, you guys were lucky to score some of the talent you got. Like the musical performers, are they real performers, or did you guys just jam, or what?
No, that was just scary.
Okay.
Our buddy Jeff Jewett and our sound guy Rosario was on the drums. So it was just us.
Okay. On the drums.
The lifeguard.
Jeff Jewett. Yeah, the lifeguard guy.
He's the lifeguard. He's the same lifeguard.
Yep. The Hulk Hogan.
And he's also he plays also the surfer guy with the crazy Tina Turner looking like hair.
Yeah.
He's one. He's a Brazilian dude. Not to get. This is not a political show, but he about 2-3 months ago he's a Brazilian. He got abducted by ICE, and he was in ICE he was in detention for about, I guess, 3 months.
4 months.
And they just deported him back down to Brazil. We're bummed. He's been one of our best friends and workers for a long time. His wife she's actually an ex-Miss Hawaii who she's blind. And we're helping him out with that. We've done a lot of rallies to raise him money and stuff. So
yeah.
But he's a good man.
Send us the links for that stuff, man, so we can.
I will.
Post
a matter of fact, when we did our release, when we did our first screening, we sold out, right? Big theater here in Kailua.
Sure.
Rosario got arrested. Rosario got arrested like 3 days earlier, and let me tell you, he was dead. Yeah. So we had everybody. I talked to everybody before the show, and I said, look, every time he ran across the stage, the screen, everybody in the audience yelled, "Release Rosario!"
Jesus.
And they did. They started yelling it every time.
I did it when I went to the Big Island. Every theater I've done it, and I've asked the audience to scream "Release Rosario" when they see the lifeguard running across the screen. So, if you knew him, he's a great dude. That was a digression. Sorry, but he's a good dude. But as far as the musicians go, I'll tell you, not to go back real quick, but the guy who sings that song, Jacques Moore, he's an actor from Maui. Actually, he moved to Florida, but he was going to come over and just shoot that one scene. And so what I did was I wrote the song and I programmed it. I did the drums and the bass line and kind of some loose keys. My brother's a really great musician who lives in Oregon and Portland. So I sent it to him and said, "Hey, Rusty, can you make this radder?" So he fluffed it up. He put guitar. He just did a bunch of stuff to it. I then sent it to Jacques on Maui, and he went into a studio of a friend of his for free. And Jacques actually sings the song. The actor actually sings it. Send it back to my
Right.
brother. We mixed it, and then we just shot it for the movie. So yeah, he's actually singing that song. Yeah.
Damn. All right. Yeah, I was my wife and I've been to Hawaii. You guys are in Oahu?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
there for a little bit. You got to do that, the tourist stuff and Pearl Harbor and all that, but we really dug the Big Island. Like
Oh, the Big
Right on.
Island's epic, man.
untouched
It's epic.
areas, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, where I live on like in Kailua, and if you go to the windward side on Oahu, it starts looking a lot more untouched. But
Okay.
if you guys, Brian, any of you, Philip, Lance, you guys ever get here, we will take care of you, man. We'll show you guys the place.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good to
We'll show
know.
you we'll show you where the tuna roam.
Yeah.
All right. You guys, Philip, Brian, you guys have any more questions?
Yeah, as far as like the cast, did you guys have the people already in mind, or did you have to do like auditions?
Audition. Well, I had Lily in mind, Leilani. I knew I wanted her. She had agreed to it, and I knew I wanted my sister as Captain Miller. I think my sister's a great actress, and she
Mhm.
wanted to be in it. So there you go. And she's in almost everything I do. She's in almost everything I do, to be honest with you. But everybody else, we did auditions. We did taped auditions, partly because of COVID. We were kind of gearing up to it towards the end of COVID.
Oh,
And you know
okay.
what? And people we had people cast that we worked with, and all of a sudden they just dropped out for whatever reason. So then we'd have to
Shit
recast. We had to
happens.
recast a lot when you're not paying people. Let me tell you. So hurting wet cats is way easier than hurting unpaid actors. And the rule with us is, and any indie film is money paying gigs take precedent over a free gig always,
Yeah.
unless
Okay.
we lock down a shoot date. If we reach out to you and you say, hey, yeah, I can do that date, then it's locked. If a paid gig comes
Right.
along, you can't book it because there's like 30 people us showing up, right? So and there were a few people who didn't make that promise like we thought, but no hard feelings, just the way life goes.
I also really appreciated the other cop though. I thought he was
Oh
really,
my God,
he was really
Shane.
funny.
Yeah.
You know what? That was Robert. Robert bought a Shane. Robert
Yeah.
and Shane had worked on a short film somewhere else here. And Shane, let me tell you, that guy's one of the funniest dudes on the planet just to hang
Yeah,
out with.
he was
A lot of
hilarious.
his stuff was improv. Like he's like, look, it came up just like a movie. He could pop up like that was not in the script. He said that. I said, okay, we're done with that scene. Move on.
He was like one of my favorite characters, man. Every
Yeah.
time he was
Me
on
too.
screen.
Yeah.
His improv was just spot on, dude. And yeah, I worked with him on this other movie, Static, before. First time meeting him on that set, and then I was like, dude, and he's got some martial arts training too. Like his dad runs like a taekwondo classes here, and he did it from when he was a super young kid. So I was like, oh, so you already got some martial arts? He goes, yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm so keeping you in mind for other film ideas that I want to get.
Yeah.
And then when Diamond was saying he was trying to find someone to play Officer Nohoa, I was like, dude, perfect, Shane. Like, just
Yeah.
audition him. You know what I mean? I mean, if you don't like him, you don't like him. But I think he's gonna do great, dude. Shane's awesome, bro, and he's super professional. When he says he's gonna be on set, he's on set, bright and early, ready to
Always.
go, all ready to
We
go.
got,
So, and he's
but
got his line. So, dude's awesome. Yeah,
Brian, as far as casting goes, we just really did. It's funny because after watching Turkey Shoot, and I know this is a weird thing to say about Turkey. We're going to talk about Turkey Shoot in a minute. I know there's a thing. What I liked about Turkey Shoot, funny enough, I didn't think the acting was particularly horrible for that kind of a film. I mean, there was some redeemable actors in that film, and I think Plankenstein. What makes Plankenstein for me a great movie is we have really good actors in Plankenstein, and none of them are union. Not one of them. Because we were non-union, we decided because I didn't want to deal with that shit. So, I love them. My sister's a great actress. Lily, we can't forget Stuart Featherin, who played the
yeah.
boyfriend. I mean, he's hysterical.
Yeah.
That guy's great, And they all
Nico,
I think
yeah.
they all just, yeah. I think in a good B movie to work, the acting has to be played really straight, and you got to get actors that can do it, and not try to be silly.
Right.
Yeah.
Even when you're chucking dead dogs.
Yep.
Hey, now be careful. What about he was my puppy? My wife doesn't like that scene.
We were actually on set in Wamanalo shooting that scene where he's dragging the dead dog behind the bike, and
Yeah.
there was a lady that's at the beach that started like going after him, like, "Hey, you got your freaking dog on the leash!" And I'm
Yeah,
from that area,
understandable.
and like I'm a local boy, and I grew up there. My family's been there, you know what I mean. So I come running out of the side. I'm like, "Auntie, it's all good." it's a fake dog. We're shooting a film. Like, she's like, what the hell? And I was like, no, it's all good. Come to find out, she knows my mom, and she's like, oh my god, your mom. She moved out. I'm like, yeah, I'll tell your mom I said hi. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I walk away,
That's
and
Hawaii
Diamond's like,
right there.
you know everybody in Wamanalo. I was like, pretty much Wamanalo, Kailua. That's kind of my stomping ground growing up. So but no, there's a couple times where we're on set in Wamanalo, and I had to kind of jump in and throw a little pigeon out there and kind of get the local guys to chill out a little bit because we're doing some things a little unorthodox, but whatever.
Yeah. Dildos and dead fake dogs will do that.
Right? Yeah. People might freak out about a couple of those things. Yeah, that totally.
I was one day in Nalo, Waimanalo, where he's talking about is a town very local, very, very local, and a lot of big Polynesian boys. But there was one time I was there, but I started edit, and I knew I needed the scenes after the big kill scene, after the big paddle out. I needed all those things floating up on the water, in the water. So I went there by myself. I made all the blood, and I'm out there in the water by myself with my camera in the water, dropping things and doing this. And as I come coming out with these dead body parts in the foot, the cops come walking up to me, and they're like, "What's happening?" Somebody called the police saying that I was, and I thought, no, dude, they're fake parts. And no, they were pissed off because they thought I was using chemicals in the water. It was what the concern was.
Okay, yeah, understand.
Yeah, and I understood, and I was like, no, and I just drank it. I go, look, because I made it out of sugar, that kind of shit. Because in the ocean, I'm not going to put the fake blood that we all use, right? So, and I started yelling at the guy who called the cops and going, all you have to do is come over and ask. Like, why would you just
were holding the foot, bro?
The cops loved it, man. They love that kind of. Once they figure it out, they're like, wait, so you're doing what? It's haunted surfboard. What the fuck? Yeah, because the locals just love the idea of this film more than anything because it's a very Hawaii film. It feels like you're in Hawaii, Yeah.
All right.
Plankenstein.
Well, cool. We appreciate the opportunity, guys, and glad y'all stopped by. Maybe we can do this again too, right?
Oh man, thank you guys.
We
so
do this
much.
show every week, almost 10 years now. So lots of
You
stuff
guys have been
coming
doing this for 10 years. You guys, you three?
Well,
Yeah.
Brian knows the date.
That kind of surprised me for a second.
Yeah, it'll be 10 years in May.
Did you guys ever live in the same geographical region to meet each other, or is this something that came born about the internet?
They did. I've always been in Alaska.
Always in Alaska.
We've met up a couple of times though. It's fun.
Yeah, Texas Frightmare.
Yeah.
I think that's
All
really
right.
cool, man. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll give another shout out to where the movie is at the end in case somebody joins the show late. But Philip, we got any feedback this week?
Yeah. All right. This week we're gonna shine the podcast spotlight on Horror Sandbox, a weekly podcast hosted by Charlie and Eleanor that dives into horror films to uncover the deeper, sometimes comforting, psychological and thematic meanings within the genre. The show explores a variety of horror movies, analyzing them from different angles. Horror Sandbox.
Sounds like an elevated horror podcast from the description. They just talk about A24 films or what?
Probably. The Horror Sandbox.
Right up your alley, Lance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And going in the opposite direction, in regards to Chopping Mall, Pat Caruso says, also, was it or was it not originally called Killbots?
This is probably Brian's territory.
Yes, it originally was. I think there's some promotional artwork before they changed it to Chopping Mall.
I like Chopping Mall better.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty original.
All right. Predator 2. Adam Bunch says, as a kid who saw this for his 12th birthday, thanks, Dad, and had a life-size poster of the Predator, this still holds a place for me. And my train operator job is now on and takes place right through the area they filmed the subway scene.
Nice.
I like it. I've got some. I've got a soft spot for Predator 2.
Yeah.
As bad as it is. Yeah,
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, Part 5.
Oof.
I don't even know which one that is. Pat Caruso.
I don't know either. I'm sorry.
Pat Caruso says it's one of his favorites in the franchise. It's got Joanna Man and everything.
Okay, that's a callback.
All right, that's it for listener feedback this week. Our intro and logos are from Steve Carlton from the Geeks. Be on the lookout for some more great stuff from him. Original skull artwork from Natsulani. And if you'd like to help us out, please consider becoming a Patreon patron. We'll let you pick the movies for a future show at any amount. And for $5 more a month, also pick a commentary for a future bonus show. And hey, come on and hang out with us. Why not? All right, on to featured attractions. It's time to play some hide and seek with Turkey Shoot from 1982. In a dystopian future where deviants are held in re-education camps, a freedom fighter and an innocent prisoner try to survive their decadent oppressors' game of kill or be killed. Director is Brian Trishard Smith, also known for Drive Hard and Pimpin' Pee Wee. Pimpin' Pee Wee? Is that a movie?
I don't know. I wasn't sure if that was his nickname. I wasn't sure.
Writers are John George, Neil Hicks, and George Schenk, whatever. Olivia Hussey almost accidentally cut off Roger Ward's hand in one scene. When the director yelled cut, she took the order the wrong way during the scene, and Ward just pulled his hands out of the way in the nick of time. I know exactly.
As opposed to using a prop sword.
Yeah, that probably would have been a better idea. The nude extras in the group shower scene, that lets you know what kind of movie this is, were from a local hippie commune. Huh, fair enough. All right, Diamond, you want to let us know what you thought about Turkey Shoot?
I think excess is what makes life worth living. That's what the guy with the beard said at one point when they were plotting who they were going to eat. All four of them were going to kill. And they were talking about their weapons,
right.
their weapons. And the guy with the Spock looking hair guy, he goes, "My dear, excess is what makes life worth living." But it made me think a little bit of, remember the movie with Ice-T in it, Surviving the Game? You guys see that? Ice-T was in a movie where he's a homeless dude, and these rich dudes, they're going to take him hunting in the woods, and they take him to a cabin. They kind of wine him and dine him for 2 days, and then they release him to hunt him. And then he comes back and kills all them, kind of thing.
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Yeah, Surviving the Game.
Brian, you guys have covered it, right, on that Action Returns? Or
No, we covered it. You guys' memory is horrible.
Oh, fuck. Pedro's listening. I'm going to catch some shit.
Maybe
Guys, I forget stuff, FYI.
Or I was really drunk, which is a possibility.
But I loved Turkey. I thought Turkey Shoot was great. Like I said earlier, I thought the acting was not as horrible as I expected it to be. And it's just here's what, to be honest with you, I can't figure out what they got the budget for that kind of shit. I was shot in 1984. When was that movie made? 82.
82 it came out.
82. Yeah, 82. In 82, I look at what they have there. That's a couple. I mean, for today's budgets, that's $1 million film, right? Easily, right? I mean, if you think about the location, all the gun towers, the vehicles, the explosions,
all the explosions,
the actors,
real fire.
They're exactly. We're talking a real huge crew cast there, and I don't know how they pulled that off for a movie that was never going to do a damn thing. I mean, what were they doing? I guess that's what they did in the early 80s, right? Their studios had an excess of just cash that they were just making a bunch of stuff, right?
And not to mention, they're doing some stuff that a lot of insurance people here in Hawaii would not allow. You know, like having they just wouldn't allow some of that stuff to go on. Like the guy getting almost, they got that low angle shot of the guy with that big tractor trailer driving over him. No, and then him walking along the cliffs with the waterfall during that when the hunt started, and the old guy with the sniper rifle, you can clearly see the little squibs on the rocks. Like they cut back and then the little squib is gone. Yeah. But it's like this guy literally standing up. There's no safety harness. There's no safety crew. Normally this would be caught like on a back lot somewhere made out of styrofoam, like 2 feet off the ground. But this guy was like legit in the freaking side of a cliff. If that one strata rock from that popper would have went off in his head, he would have went right over and done. So I'm like, that's how you know this is an old 80s movies, man, because they're just not doing stuff like that no more. They just can't. Nowadays, you can. You get sued up the
Yeah.
ass for that shit.
Cowboy
Yeah,
It's
flicks.
all or nothing days.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
was. No rules. But I enjoyed it. I surprised me. I did. I mean, I enjoy all those the old school movies, but this
Oh
one I
yeah.
just
Yeah.
I enjoyed the two leads, the woman and the guy. I did, and also let's be honest, the ultimate weapon. What was he? He called him the guy who looked like
The werewolf.
The wolf.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
werewolf
werewolf.
dude.
the werewolf guy. What the hell was that? It was so unbelievably wonderful.
Found him at a circus.
That's right. What did he call him? He called him a geek or not I don't remember what he called him.
Got it
That
from
was-
a
Yeah,
freak
I can't
show
remember
or
either.
something. But
Yeah.
it was weird enough where like I fell asleep during the movie and I woke up and some other random ass movie was playing where they were like fighting monsters and I was like, oh, this is the same movie.
Same movie.
That's weird. Where'd that motherfucker come from?
You know what? That makes total sense. It makes total sense. Oh man.
Yeah.
Scary, what'd you think about it?
I thought it was a crazy movie. I used to love, like, I'm an old school guy. I love new movies, like visual effects and all that, but I love old school movies too. Like just from Toxic Avengers, Best of the Best, old school 80s and 90s films. But I kind of like this one. I dig dystopian films. I love post-apocalyptic things like that. And this was definitely something I would have watched as a kid, you know what I mean? Especially with all the nude scenes. Of course, I'm a little
Yeah.
guy. Of course, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. It was some moments where my eyebrows was raised, like, what the hell is this? Like, what the hell is going on here? Definitely when the Monster Man came out. I thought it was funny too, because I don't know if those were like contacts he was wearing. They had
Looked
the
like
close
it.
above his eyes,
Yeah.
and one contact was just slightly crooked. So I was like, they like
I
I
didn't
know that they
notice.
like misaligned it ever so slightly, but I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it. I watched it. I started watching it, and then I was kind of doing something, and I just kind of sat down and just continued to watch it. So it captured my attention during the film, but it was cool. I dug it. Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah, all right. Brian, what'd you think?
Oh, I love this. If it wasn't for Turkey Shoot, we wouldn't have had movies like The Hunger Games or anything like
Oh,
that.
true.
Battle Royale.
True. Yes.
Very true.
Steve Railsback, Olivia Hussey, they were definitely. I like that you can tell they were actually doing their own stunts because there's another scene where they're running down a hill and they're falling down. And you can see that's Olivia Hussey falling down the side of the hill. And I love the randomness of the I don't know what the creature from the freak
Yeah.
show, how he just pops up and the random weapons, all of a sudden there's bazookas and exploding arrows and just anything you can think of they threw in this movie.
Some goofy ass vehicles too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the tractor Jeep or whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever that was.
With like the turret on the top, like where did you guys get that from? Like seriously, custom build or something?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know.
And I like at
It's
the
a
end
go-kart.
when I like at the end when he tells her that she needs to use it. She's not even aiming. She's just holding it randomly with one arm, spraying
one arm.
every direction.
Kind of
Like
this.
magically, she's hitting the bad guys. Magically, I don't know.
Well, it's like the guy that got his hands cut off, and he's like, "Oh no!" He just has his sleeves pulled up.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
see. You can see his
You
fist
can even see
underneath.
the bolt. Yeah, yeah. You can even see his fist underneath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I couldn't. It's not me to ask questions, but it's not my show. It's your guys. But does anybody have any idea where that thing was shot? Because parts of it looked like Hawaii, didn't they, Robert? I mean, it looked tropical, but then it didn't. It looked.
I think
Where the
I was
Australia.
thinking somewhere in California or something.
Oh, was it
Yeah,
Australia?
no,
Australia?
pretty
Okay,
pretty
okay.
sure it was Australia. And I think that it had like some UK financing and some Australian financing and
Oh.
some American. So that might explain the budget, a little bit.
Yeah, because when I
Yeah.
looked it up, it had it listed as like an exploitation film, and I was like, "There's like 2 Australian guys in this movie."
Right.
They might have
Yeah.
had like more crew. Like,
Yeah.
I bet they probably pulled from the Australian film crew out there,
Yeah.
on set. So
For
that's
sure.
possibly
Yeah.
where a majority of the Australian credit comes from. Yeah. So
Yeah, they filmed it in far north Queensland, Australia.
That makes
Okay.
sense. Then I think with the clips and stuff, yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Wow,
Uh, Lance, what'd
wow.
you think?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it, man. I watched this Saturday morning after I woke up and did a little reading and had a few cups of coffee and just sat on the couch and didn't leave. I think I watched it on Tubi. So you'd get the commercials, so you had a chance to go to the bathroom or whatever, go get something to eat, quick snack, and then come back. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really funny. Robert, you were talking about the squibs that were
yeah,
visible and other things. What was with that shtick of every time somebody got shot at, leaves from the tree would fall down and branches, right? Like over and over and over and over. Like they kind of overused that one a little bit, but
yeah.
yeah, no, I enjoyed it, man. It was crazy, crazy. Deep social message, right? But in a silly, goofy movie, you know. And they were even
Yeah.
using like chess pieces that were African art, and they were like plotting out what they were going to do to these people. And you know, there's probably a lot here that we're giggling too much to really pay attention to. But I enjoyed it for sure.
I
I
kind
agree
of
with you.
like
It was
to. Sorry, go ahead,
but
Diamond.
I
I
agree.
was just gonna. Go ahead, Diamond.
Robert,
Go ahead. Go
all
for it.
right. I was just going to agree with you, Lance. I like the idea of the really the social message. I mean, it was a pretty overt. I mean, it was pretty clear that this regime was coming down on society. But
Mhm.
you're so engaged with the big werewolf and all the other shit going on, you're forgetting about this heavy thing that's happening, man. It's
Right,
pretty
right.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I was just
re-education
gonna
camp.
say that.
That'll do it.
Yeah, totally. No, I like that part about the battle royale and all that. But no, the one little thing I was gonna mention was I liked how I'm pretty sure back in the 1982 they must have just came out with the clear inflatable pool beds
Right.
because in the community they had all those blocks everybody was sleeping on. Everybody all had the same clear inflatable pool beds. It was kind of like that movie where Crocs just came out, and so they're like, we need a futuristic shoe. So they're like, let's grab these Crocs because they
Right.
look freaking
Space
weird. All of a
shoes.
sudden, they became like super popular. But I'm pretty sure somebody was like, we need a bunch of beds for the prisoners. Let's just go grab a bunch of pool beds. So
I
I just
didn't
thought that
even
was kind
notice
of
that. I got
crazy.
to go back and look. I'm going to go back and
I
look at that.
know.
I didn't notice that part. Yeah. I
Yeah.
noticed the
We'll
Converse
probably
shoes. I noticed the Converse tennis shoes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. I'm sure we're all going to rewatch this movie at some point.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and especially for one that has never really even been on my radar before. I mean, it's when Brian sent it to us, it said most dangerous game turkey shoot, and I read most dangerous game in high school, but and so this is sort of like that, but I guess it's just the Australian version of it, and so that makes sense. But I'd never heard of it, man. This was a lot of fun for what it was. I didn't expect a whole lot from it, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the weird Wolfman guy and the crazy like dozer things that they had going on. The fucking weird guy with the stupid hair.
Yeah, the weird. One of the ladies' makeup, and you're just, she's.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a
She's
little
she's shooting
good.
freaking arrows and they're just exploding in trees and stuff. I didn't
yeah,
understand why, but don't ask too many questions.
I was disappointed how the warden. He got killed way too
Right?
quick. He needed a better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Should
was
have been
disappointed.
Yeah.
tortured, right?
Yeah. He just got what had happened. His head just got blown up or something. I don't remember. Yeah, it just fell off or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Did
Well,
it?
and
I wanted I,
he was the guy
I
that was
wanted him
taking
to
it
be cut in half.
seriously.
I know. I wanted him to be cut in half like our werewolf guy. That would have been way better.
yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Did it seem to you guys at times like the movie had scenes cut from it?
Maybe now that you
Probably.
mention it,
Because the
kind of
guy with
choppy
the
editing.
eye makeup, he gets a machete to the head and we don't see it. The blonde chick that was
Uh,
one of the runners, we never see what happens to her.
you're
It's
totally
just
right.
Right.
She's just
just
dead. Yeah.
implied.
Yeah, there's like an arrow stuck in her head, but you don't actually see that whole scene. Right, right,
You're
Mm.
right.
right.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. You're right because I was looking forward to seeing what that woman with the eyeshadow was going to do to that blonde, and maybe we get to see that blonde naked. But we
Right.
didn't get
I know.
A bonus.
to.
She obviously had some pretty good bolt-ons for the age. So, all right, let's go. We score our stuff from 1 to 10. What would you rate this one, Diamond?
I'm giving this guy 6.5.
Six and a
Just
half.
because of the pure enjoyment. I felt I enjoyed it all the way through. I didn't, maybe
Nice.
even a 7. Yeah, I didn't feel like I had to get up and leave. I really didn't. I felt I enjoyed it. Lots of times there's a stale place, and I didn't feel it in this film.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Robert?
I was gonna say the same thing, but a 6. It's up there as far as classics. You know, you can totally, I can see myself watching it as a kid, but as a filmmaker looking back at it, I'm like, this is a kind of a wacky film, and I don't know how they did it, but
You
but I
think?
do, yeah, it's kind of wacky. And there's just some things that I notice. I'm just like, all right, whatever, you know, for the time and all that. I'll let it slide. But yeah, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, but you
All
just
right, it
made
was a cool.
Plankenstein. You just made Plankenstein with just as much bad shit in it as well.
It's way better. Way better effects, way better. I mean, no. Plankenstein's way better of a film.
Oh well,
Just,
you have to.
I'm a little biased, but I'm gonna say it out there. Yep.
Hey, they didn't have a dildo on a rod in this one.
Yes,
Exactly.
True.
We didn't have any boobs in our show, but whatever.
Yeah, we did have a pulled out penis. Well,
Brian, what do you think?
I'm gonna go slightly higher and give it 7 out of 10. I had a lot of fun with it, just from everything from the wacky weapons to the
Mhm.
wolf monkey man that pops up out of nowhere, kills the one guy with the thick glasses with a backbreaker. I'm a big pro
Yeah.
wrestling fan, so that spoke to me right
yeah,
there.
WWE right there.
As
Yeah.
soon as he did it, I was like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the finishing move right there.
Yeah.
And I think this would make a great double feature with something like Death Race 2000.
Yes.
Ooh,
Perfect.
I would agree.
Makes sense. Yeah, that
Yep.
tracks.
Yep.
Lance, what do you think?
Man, I'll go strong 7. I really I got a lot of enjoyment out of it. I don't know if it was just because I was in the right headspace, because I didn't have all the shit of my day going on. It was first thing, and I don't know, it's just like going back to childhood, you know, like those old cheesy movies
Mm-hmm.
that we used to watch and get so much enjoyment out of. And I remember we used to try to get the pay-per-view channels, and you could fiddle with the dial a little bit, like in the day, and you would sort of get it like real choppy, and you got try to get
You
like
kind of
the
move.
yeah, all the, yes.
You're sitting here putting foil on top of the antenna, trying to match the foil around the antenna.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Strong 7.
Saw a boob.
Yeah, I think I saw a boob.
And Lance, you said about it, the nostalgic. I think the music did that really strongly. It
Yeah.
felt very
Okay.
much like the 80s.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of made me. It kind of reminded me of like Logan's Run, which is another great
Sure,
old school
absolutely.
post-apocalyptic. But it had that Logan's Run kind of vibe to it. But yeah, but without all the cool sci-fi stuff. A lot less sci-fi, more
Yeah.
Mad Max meets Logan's Run kind of a feel.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised this one didn't get bigger than it did. Like I don't even know that I'd ever even heard of it. And
Yeah, me
yeah.
neither.
Me neither, yeah. never
I
heard of
think
it.
realistically I'm gonna go 6.5 with it. But I had a ton of fun with this movie, and it was very just nostalgic, you know, like
Yeah.
it felt old,
Yeah.
but in a great way.
That's why it's a 6 for me too. Is the nostalgia in it involved?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right. Sounds like we all definitely recommend that one. We'll move on
Amen.
to our new attraction, Ready or Not 2. Here I Come. Isn't that what it's called?
I think so.
I believe so. Yeah.
After surviving one deadly game, Grace and her sister Faith must outrun 4 rival families competing for a throne. Director and writers are Radio Silence, also known for Abigail, and the first Ready or Not. Radio Silence were working on an original film centered around a sister story set to star Catherine Newton and Samara Weaving. However, when the Searchlight Pictures approved them to direct the sequel to Ready or Not, they proposed integrating their original sister story into Ready or Not universe.
Interesting.
Searchlight Pictures approved the idea, and here we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're actually giving the artists some free reign on a high budget movie.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Yeah.
Well, they
pretty
did pretty
nice.
well in the first one.
Yeah.
All right, Diamond, sounds like you missed this one. Robert, did you see it?
I did. Actually, Diamond sent me the email for today's show saying, "Hey, we're going to be talking about this." I was like, "Damn, I haven't seen that. It's in theaters." I saw the first one and I liked it.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend had just got home from the gym. It was kind of late. I was like, "Hey, babe," talking about us being on this podcast, and I was like, "You want to go to the movies? You want to go watch? I need to. They're gonna talk about this film, but I haven't seen it." She was like, "I'm down, sure." So I was like, "All right, cool."
Nice.
There was one playing at 9:10, so I was like, "Let's do it." So I texted Diamond. I was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the movies with us?" He goes, "I can. Just got done working. I was beat, but." I liked it, man. I really liked the first one, so I was stoked to see this one. And then my girl didn't see the first one. So I was like, "Is that cool?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll pick it up." I was like, "All right, cool." But it's a lot of blood and gore. It's the kind of reason why I like Sisu so much. It's just once it starts, and it's just blood literally exploding and flying everywhere. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a cool movie. It was super cool.
Yeah, definitely some good special effects there. Brian,
Definitely.
what do you think?
I really enjoyed this one, but I didn't love it as much as I did the original one. And I
Okay,
think it
fair
was
enough.
the relationship between Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton. I like both of them, but I just every time they had their moments when they were trying to reconnect their relationship, it just kind of took me out.
That's because they're in the middle of some serious shit and they're like, hang on, let's stop everything and have a serious conversation.
I did
Sure.
Like,
like
what are you
Yeah.
doing?
I did like the whole picking up right where the last movie left off
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
introducing the other families, which I thought they could have been a little bit more ruthless and a little bit more zany and wacky.
Yeah. I mean, that was a choice, though, right?
Can I,
And the,
Brian? Can I ask you a question? I haven't seen it because I was cleaning up with the flood shit on the North Shore. But you said it's kind of a takeoff from the last movie. But can you go watch it without seeing the first movie and still dig it, or you have to see the first? Do you think?
They give a quick little flashback of what happened previously,
Mm,
and then it picks up right where the last one left off.
cool, cool. That's great.
and the second one kind of explains more about the organization, really. So you get
Hmm.
more of the backstory, I feel like,
Yeah.
from the original one. Yeah. So
Yeah, you get a more sense of how big their reach is as far as throughout the world.
Mm,
yeah. And I gotta lie,
cool.
I loved Elijah Wood in this
Yeah,
as the lawyer.
me
Oh,
too.
Satan,
I mean, I,
Satan's
I ain't gonna
lawyer.
lie. Yeah, I was gonna say at the end, I was like, is no one gonna kill the fucking lawyer? But
I
he
know.
just kind of slipped into the darkness at the end, and I was just like, really, Elijah Wood, after all this shit, he walks away clean.
Right,
But
right.
yeah,
You got the one
Slithers
ring.
out, huh?
yeah.
Lawyer should be killed first, always.
At the very least, right? Yeah.
I'm just saying, if I'm in it.
Lance, what do you
At
think?
the end, a bullet real quick would have been done, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Lance?
All right. Oh, it's my go. Man, I was so fucking worried about this. I didn't say anything to you guys, but from the trailers on this, like I enjoyed the first movie so much. I was like, what in the fuck are they doing? They're expanding this. It was a good, simple, self-contained story, and now and a one family, and now all of a sudden they're doing all this horse shit with all these fucking families. And like you could, the trailer was pretty good actually because it showed a lot of scenes from the early part of the movie. They didn't really spoil, a lot of the later stuff, which I definitely appreciated. It was a well-made trailer, but it had me worried. And so I get to the theater. Robert, my wife, came with me. We made it a date afternoon, right?
Nice.
And I don't know, man. It started up, it picks up exactly where the other one left off, like Brian said, and I thought that was super cool. Like I really dug that. I'm like, Okay, cool. Halloween 2 style here, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm kind of enjoying it a little bit, and then it kind of gets to where you start meeting the characters here, and I'm slowly starting to fall in love with this movie. I love Kevin Durand, not Durant, in
Yeah.
everything that he's in, right? He's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
I wish he had a
Chews up
bigger
every
part in this one.
scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do too. Spoiler alert. Yeah, but okay, and then you got I like the way that it's different families from kind of around the globe. So, it goes over to China, it goes to London. What was the other spot, guys? Do you remember?
India,
Were they
those the brothers from India,
right?
and
Yeah.
then I think the other one was just Americans, like the brother and
Okay.
sister. There was this pompous like corporate Americans, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. You want to talk about social issues being addressed. Like this movie covers it low
Sure.
key totally, right? I mean, there's a lot you could talk about or, try to figure out what they meant. I was a little bit disappointed that I mean, they did pretty well with what they brought in as far as representation. I was a little disappointed there weren't, like a few other types of groups and cultures in there, but that's fucking nitpicking, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so focus on the movie and what they gave us. I love the intros of the characters, the Duran doing all the cocaine. I love seeing David Cronenberg. That was really cool. That was epic the way that they started it. So I think I'm now at this point in the movie. I'm like, okay, we got a pretty good damn idea. Maybe these guys can pull it off. Maybe we are headed into something here. And so then once we start meeting the characters, I kind of had a different takeaway than Brian. I didn't want I at first I thought, yeah, it'd be great if they're ruthless and they're actually, they're hard to kill and stuff like that. But like, God, Jesus Christ, when Net what's his name? Nestor Carbonell, or we met him at Texas
Friend of the
Oh,
Ranger. He's
show. We
such a
talked to him.
cool,
Yeah.
nice guy.
the guy that looks
Yeah,
like he has
he's
eyeliner on.
Yeah.
that's the one. The coolest dude we've ever met. And he sat there for like 15 minutes at Frightmare. So the guy's awesome. But like when he had that gun and the chamber fell out, and I'm like, okay, this is
Oh,
where we're going here. A lot of these guys aren't going to be like, these trained killers like you see in a lot of the kung fu movies
Yeah, I
and
like
stuff.
his
So
kids. The kids were
what's that?
watching. The kids were watching, and he was missing all the shots. And they were like, "Well, we told him to practice. He never practices."
yeah.
Yeah, this movie was just a kind of a gorgeous little foray into entitlement, a gorgeous little foray into the consumer society that we've got. I enjoyed the family dynamic. You even kind of got a rom-com moment there at the end where the two sisters were starting to get together, and then they had that fight you got to have, right? And then they, of course, everything. Well, we'll get into spoilers, but yeah, I thought it was brilliantly made. I really enjoyed this fucking movie. And I was kind of thinking when we left the theater, Radio Silence is back because they kind of dropped a boner with that one Scream movie, and everything they touches doesn't turn to gold, but they do a lot more good than bad. You were talking about the first movie of this. Abigail was a blast. I mean, these
True.
Yeah.
guys are onto something. I enjoyed this one a lot. This will probably be on my top 10 list, believe it or not, at the end of the year.
Wow. I'm going to see it tonight.
Yeah, it might be. I would suggest watching the first one if you haven't
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah, if you haven't seen that
Okay.
one, it may not necessarily be needed. You can get the gist of it, but the first one has sort of a different feel to it, and it's
So much fun.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, the first one is so great. Because okay, so in the first one, what it does is it you are sort of wondering if this is real the whole time. And then in the end, they give you a nice little surprise, and you're like, "Oh, holy shit! Didn't see that coming!" Right?
Right.
But we'll get into spoilers. But they sort of use that as a gimmick in this movie from like the get go, and so you already know what's going on. And it's
Right.
just this
Uh,
ensemble cast, fun movie. Like there's some plot holes. There's like little
Sure.
things here and there where, like this character's fighting on the ground with this person, and like there's a guy standing right next to him, but he doesn't like get involved until after they're already done fighting. It doesn't make any sense. I was like, it's right there. What happened? And they
I
do
do
that
like
a
how
couple of
Grace the
times.
whole time was trying to just find a cigarette.
Yeah.
Oh
As soon as he got to
yeah,
the
that's
hospital
a
in the
great
beginning,
shtick.
and then when she kills the first two, she rummages through his pockets, finds the cigarette pack, but
Uh-huh.
they're all crushed. She's like, ah. And at the
God
very
damn
end,
it.
she finally finds a fucking cigarette and she walks off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
whole movie, she just wants a cigarette. Someone give me her fucking cigarette.
It's life is simple.
Yeah.
Which is fair after the couple of days she's had.
He
Yeah,
deserves it.
yeah. Because again, it
No
goes right from
shit.
the ending of the first movie to the hospital. She's looking for a cigarette,
Uh-huh.
and it goes right in, and they
Yeah.
abduct her again. And then they're like, "Do you have any questions before we start this new game?" She's like, "Can I have a fucking cigarette?" And he's like, "No."
And then he lights one up right in front of her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Oh yeah, what an
exactly.
asshole.
What an asshole. Yeah.
Uh, but while I don't think it was as effective as the first one, it still was a ton of fun, and I definitely enjoyed myself. It is not even in the same category as the first movie, but it's
Yeah.
close.
It's a good movie.
So
Yep.
we'll give
It's a
it that.
fun
They
film.
did something different. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was kind of interesting.
And yeah, and I loved Frodo in this one. He was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I love that
Oh,
scene where the guy, where the cousin was sitting here texting. Oh, they're on the golf course on the nine, and he comes just sneaking up to the side. He
Yes.
goes, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Are you
Yes, that
sure?
was
Are you
great.
sure you want to do that?"
I
He
That
goes,
was
loved
great.
"Oh no!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "That was awesome. That was a good shot. That was a
that
good
guy.
scene there."
That guy was one of my favorite characters. And then the like squirrely Indian dude with the beard.
Yeah.
Oh, that completely advocates his power
Yeah.
to his wife, who then, by the way, plot hole, she takes off.
Yeah.
Where the guy was
Right.
saying, if you take off, you know what's
You
going to
can't
happen.
leave.
So he's
Yeah.
like, you can't leave. You have to play. So he flipped it to the wife, and then the wife takes off. So what happened to the wife? Like I
That
was telling
was
my girlfriend, it would have been great if they
Plot
would have
hole.
got a quick shot of down
Right.
the road. She's in the car going, "Yes, I got away," and then cut to a shot of the camera
Yeah.
outside, and then the inside of the car just becoming like a red paint bucket inside.
Couldn't agree
Where she
more.
pops.
Couldn't agree more.
that was what I
But
expected to happen.
Fair point.
yeah.
Fair point.
So
Yeah.
I think they probably cut that out. But I was like, yeah, that was a big plot hole because
Yeah.
she got away scot clean. What the hell?
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
They were like, this guy's funny. We got to leave him in the movie for a little longer. All right. Scores from 1 to 10 before we get into spoilers. Robert, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to place a little higher than Turkey Shoot. I'm gonna go with like maybe maybe an 8. Yeah, I'll go with maybe an 8. Yeah. I'm
Wow.
a big
All right.
fan of the blood and gore scenes. They took a lot. I feel like I don't know if you're fans of the boys, but the blood popsicle explosions they got in the boys where everybody's heads pop. They
Right.
had that, but it was like the full body. I just
Yeah.
that was awesome. I love the blood and gore every single time, just a big splatter. We did that in
Uh-huh.
Plankenstein too. I had fun doing those things in Plankenstein, but it was a fun film. I liked all the actors. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
That seems
Nice.
to be a thing that Radio Silence is a fan of because they did it in the first one and they did it in Abigail.
Oh yeah, that's right. They
So
did.
they like exploding people.
That's their signature.
I
Not
think
my
a
somebody,
good signature.
I think I read somewhere that this is all in the same universe.
Oh,
That makes sense. Yeah, that tracks.
Okay.
Hopefully we get
Interesting.
more.
Yeah. Brian, what do you think?
I'm at a 7.5. Like I said,
Damn,
I
nice.
enjoyed it, but I didn't love it as much as the original one. I do like seeing horror icons like Sarah Michelle Gellar and David Cronenberg and other people like Elijah Wood in there. It was fun seeing him in there. Kevin Durant, great cast. But it just kind of the relationship aspect of the sisters kind of took me out of it sometimes.
Yeah, understood.
I know, which sucks because I actually really like both of them. Dude, Samara
Yeah.
Weaving was like, she was there to fucking work.
She,
That girl
she
was
can
an
scream,
actor.
can't she?
Yeah.
She can really scream.
My girlfriend was telling me about that. The director didn't know how well that actress could scream. And then they did a scene in
Uh-huh.
the first movie where it was at the table and she just bled out this scream. Like, that was amazing. And
Yeah.
so she did it again for this sequel, just
Perfect.
right at the camera, that like blood curdling scream. So
Sure.
yeah, no, she's got some pipes, man, for sure. Yeah.
Dude, she takes every scene as seriously as if she was winning an Oscar, and I hope that she does one day soon.
You never
That's
know.
that's the
Jamie Lee
that's the
Curtis
best
got
person
one.
to work with.
Yeah.
Best person to
Yep.
work with, right there. Take it seriously all the way. That's great.
For sure.
Lance, what do you think?
Definitely.
Oh wow, it's my turn. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I fell in love with it. Loved the story. I actually did enjoy the story of the sisters. I thought that was very original and something that we didn't get in the first one, and this is how they were able to make this a completely different movie. But then they also wrapped it around the storyline. They went directly from the first story to the second. I liked the set design. I thought it was really neat considering some of the social issues it's talking about, to film it on a golf course with a casino and a wedding venue and all this crass consumerism. And it's a lot. It was a lot. I enjoyed it. I really liked the score. I don't know if you guys paid attention to
Hmm.
the music, but it was really built tension well, and then it would like lighten up at different scenes. So it was really well edited as far as the sound, I think, and I liked the score. So the costumes, they were cute, right? Like the little Satan costumes and stuff like that. But it can't all be perfect. I strong 8 on 10. Love this movie.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm right there too. I think the first one gets a 9. I think this one gets an 8.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I think it was definitely a very solid March horror movie, man. It's definitely going to end up in the top 10 somewhere, I think.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Spoiler talk.
Here we go. Let
Uh,
loose.
I'll jump in first. Outside of what Robert was talking about, the scene where the guy turns over power to his wife and she just leaves.
Yeah.
I think outside of that, I think they pretty much stayed to the rules they set that they established. Like when Kevin Durant he tries to kill Samara Weaving in the hospital, and it was told that you could not kill her before the games, and so since he tried, he immediately explodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
But what about the guy with the martini? Was he not,
Uh-huh.
did he not have to play, or was he,
He was
because
just
because
dicking
they
around.
because they at the beginning they asked him if he was going to participate, and he was like,
Right?
they're going to take him out in 5 minutes. I'm going to chill here and watch.
Oh, the guy
Right?
in the bathrobe?
Yeah.
He was the twins' cousin.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
as long
Family.
as one of them was still, because since they were twins, they got to participate together.
Okay.
Right.
And as
Because
long
their
as they were
Okay.
father.
alive, as long as they were alive, he didn't have to play.
See, Brian's explaining all the things we thought might have been plot holes. What's the deal with the chick getting away, Brian? Was that
I
was that in
don't
universe
know.
or okay?
Yeah, I expected her to pop like a balloon.
Right. Would have been a lot more fun, but
He
whatever.
was like an Aziz Ansari guy, but with the
Yeah,
big
Right.
beard.
definitely.
That guy was so funny through the whole movie.
Yeah, for sure. I like the fight scene in the wedding venue. With the I guess would you call
Yes.
her the big boss? The one that was the first wife or supposed to be the wife of the dude that married Samara Weaving? What'd you guys think about
I
that?
had questions about that. She was saying that
Hmm.
she's wearing her ring and her dress.
Right, right.
How did how did she get all that?
I don't know, but women are like that. You're dating my ex-boyfriend. How dare you?
She's like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
It was great. And then she shoots her with a rocket launcher, but it goes backwards.
Yeah, that
These
was like,
guys were just all over the place. Diamond, you got to check this out, dude. I think you'll get a big
I'm
kick
so
out of it.
disappointed, man. I'm so I can't go. I'm so disappointed I missed
Well,
it. Yeah.
And as soon as she pulled out the pepper spray, I went, "Oh no, don't do that."
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
You
that
don't want to
always
get
backfires.
you don't want to get in a fight with somebody with pepper spray. it gets
Never.
it gets everywhere. It sucks a lot, I promise.
Yeah, the girl literally, while getting pepper spray, takes the other girl's takes this pepper spray out of the other girl's, and then starts pepper spraying the
Yeah.
other girl, like just going
Right.
back and forth. There's a little comedy
Yeah.
type little pepper spray
A
gag
lot of
there. Yeah,
comedy, man.
there's a lot
Oh,
of
she didn't
comedy.
even
There's
need to get
total.
pepper sprayed. It would have already been there.
Uh-huh.
You don't pepper
Yeah,
spray somebody and then get in a hands-on fight with them. That's a bad idea.
yeah.
Right, right.
Philip, you sound like you're speaking from experience. What's
I
going on
am
there?
speaking from. I used to work in a prison.
Ding, ding, ding.
Fun
So
stuff.
what do you guys think about the
Oh,
future of this franchise? Is there I don't know how it did at the box office. Brian usually tracks that. You guys think there's a future for more in this universe?
They could. I don't know if I would be interested because originally Radio Silence wasn't going to return to do this one. They had a complete different director attached to
Okay.
it. And then slowly everybody started coming back, which gave me more hope for this movie. But the way it ended, I could see them just leaving it alone.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd like to see more stuff in the universe though, especially if this shares with Abigail, because they could do
Yeah.
everything, right? They could have like witches. They could have like another vampire character. They could have fuck. They could have a werewolf. I mean, goddamn, Turkey Shoot did it, you know?
turn, turn,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, we're
Turkey
still
shooter.
trying to work on a good werewolf movie. I guess we'll see
Right.
what the
True.
one this year does, but
Right. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. Damn, Diamond, Robert, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you for
us. It was a
having us. We
blast. I had a
really
lot of fun.
appreciate it. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Philip,
when I
I might work on werewolf surfers for you. I'll see what I can
there you
There
go,
you
man.
go.
oh,
Perfect.
nice.
That is the solution.
Not
Yeah,
that
when
one.
I
That's just a Greek dude out there. He's
Yeah, this is a Greek dude.
when I saw the email, I really couldn't believe my eyes at first. Is this really a killer surfboard? But yeah, the minute I read the description, we had to talk to you guys. So thanks again.
Awesome.
Again, where can everybody find the movie?
Uh, Amazon Prime, Fandango, Tubi TV, Vimeo TV, Zumo, and Bloodstream. Yeah,
Nice. All right.
and we can't
Cool.
thank you guys enough. You guys are just rock stars, and Brian, you're an encyclopedia. I can't figure you out, but you
Thank
kind of
you.
know everything. You know everything there is about all this shit. But thank you guys so much for having us. It's been really fun, and you guys are. Thank you. Just thank you. We appreciate it, man.
All right. We would like to thank all of you guys for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. You can find us everywhere, but go to our website, www.thehorrorreturns.com. You can link to all of our socials from there. You can buy t-shirts, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. Become a Patreon patron, whatever floats your boat. Or whatever floats your board, I guess, in this case. So let's see. Next week. Oh, damn, Brian. You hooked me up with two of
Yeah.
my hall pass that I
Put
remember.
it on the schedule just for you.
Okay. So we got what is it called? Evelyn, the one with Salma in it? Everly.
Everly,
Everly.
2014's Everly, and
Okay.
the brand new They Will Kill You, starring Zazie Beetz.
Very nice. All
I
right.
hope this is good. I have high hopes for this movie.
I think it will be, man. I think it will be. But we'll see. We'll find out together. So until the horror returns again, Philip.
Good night.
Here we go. I'll